we get into, you know. Uh,
Yes.
if as long as we're gonna keep drifting in this direction, uh, and kids, safety first, okay? Uh,
Safety first.
but I would like Dave to tell you a story about hunting in Marquette. Um,
Oh, good. This one isn't a surprise either. Oh, this is another one that, technically it was illegal. And yes, we knew what we were doing, but we got away with it by playing dumb. Joe Sconey and I, we were going to go out and hunt Canadian geese one day. So we went out tooling around. We knew there were
and
some
it was
fields out this
season.
way.
It was
Huh?
season.
It was in season. We had
Yeah,
licenses and everything. So,
yeah.
so we're driving around out. I don't even know where the hell we were. Well, yeah, I do know where we were. We ended up hunting a cornfield that was on the prison property of Marquette Prison. And apparently it's illegal to bring guns onto prison property. Who
Who
would
would
have
have
thought?
thought that?
So Joe's kind of he's way over on the other side of this field in a ditch, and he's down there hiding pretty good. And I'm just crouched down in the middle of the field and hoping the corn stalks will hide me. And they did pretty good. I had a couple shots at geese that landed near me, and so I'm sitting there, and this official Michigan State car comes driving up the 2-track and stops exactly next to me. The guy gets out of the car. He's got his little 2-inch pistol in his hand. He says, can you set that gun down and come with me? Oh my God. So, well, of course I will. So I get in the car. He gets my gun, and we're driving up to the prison. And he says, you got any ammo for this thing? I said, yeah. He says, can you put it here on the seat? And I says, you better have a container because I have lots. So I had like 2 boxes of shells in my pocket. So I'm pulling them out, and I ended up just putting them in my hat. Here you go. So, 50 shotgun shells and the shotgun and everything. And we went in the prison like that. He's got the gun under his arm and the bag of shells in his other hand. We walked right through main population to get to his office. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm thinking, well, they're just going to give me a cot here and I'm never leaving. But he gave me a stern warning and let me go. And he gave me my gun and ammo back. Pretty much drove me out to the road out by the cornfield where I got caught and said, don't ever get caught doing this again because we won't let you go next time. Okay.
But Saccone, he blasted off. He left.
Oh, he bolted. Yeah, he had bolted the mission as soon as that car came up. He had driven away. So I'm sort of hiking down the road to go back to town. He came tooling up about 10 minutes later. He'd been cruising back and forth on the road just in case I turned up someplace else. And I said, oh, need a ride?
Well, and talking about Joe, Mark DeBrock and I, years ago, flew up to Alaska to go hang with him, and it was a wonderful experience. It really was. I mean, we did all sorts of things together. We, fish and caught big fish and, camped and, touched a moose on its butt and all that kind of stuff. But one of the things I'll never forget is that we went up this mountain. We were walking up this darn mountain, and it had brush, up high, so you couldn't really see anything. And we're walking up trekking up this mountain, and I hear a whistle. And I said to Joe, "What's that?" He goes, "Well, that's a bear whistle. That means there's a bear up there." I said, "Do we want to keep going?" "Oh yeah, we'll keep going." And then the further that we went, he got a little nervous and he pulled out his 45. He had a 45. I said, "That 45 is not going to do anything to that bear." And he said, it's not for the bear. I'm going to shoot one of you in the knee and run down the mountain.
That's right.
I mean, this is what real friends are like.
I don't have to run faster than the bear. I just have to run faster than you.
Yeah, that's right. Uh,
That's perfect.
so tell me, Dave. You know, your son graduated from Northern.
Yes.
You and Gail met at Northern, and I love Gail to death. And you really live in the idealized retirement scenario. I mean, you just bought that 56 acres and whatnot.
We had 80. I bought another 26 last week.
26.
So,
Yeah.
but it's all one piece now, so that's
nice.
Awesome. Yep.
That's awesome.
Well,
Go ahead.
I'm going to point out that my son met his wife at Northern too, and they just
right?
They just had their 6th anniversary a few weeks ago.
And you've got little Adonis or whatever his name is. What is
Angus? Angus, and he has a new brother named Duncan. The wee grandkids. They're the only ones we have so far.
Yeah.
So.
And by the way, if you can't tell by looking at him, he's a Viking.
Me or Angus?
All y'all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Now, you had mentioned something that I'd like you to go into detail. You called it microgreens.
Oh, yeah. My son is living up at the property in Bliss. It came with a big old farmhouse, so he and his wife are living in there. But he has one whole room set aside as a grow room that he has a big market up here for. They're called microgreens these days. Back in the old hippie days, they just called them sprouts. But he doesn't really do bean sprouts. He does pea shoots and sunflower shoots, and I think he does broccoli and radish, and they all have different flavors. So some of them he packages separately, and some of them are in a mix. But you get like a pound of these microgreens, and he charges $4 or $5 for them. So, and they're so easy to take care of. He just pretty much scatters them in a flat, and a week or two later, he has this gizmo that's like a giant hedge clipper, but with a basket on the back. So you just run it over the top of these flats, and all the stuff is in the basket, and you don't wash it off, and it's ready to package. So it's pretty easy to take care of.
You Ives are something else, I swear to God.
And he can do it. He does it all winter long too, because he's growing them indoors. So that, and it gives our cannabis plants a head start in the spring too. So.
Oh, you happen to mention that you're growing that.
I happen to mention
medicinal only.
Yeah. Well, he's doing that and Gail's doing that. I'm not doing that.
Now, you've had, not to bring up, I remember when Mitchke was retired from the Navy, you and I flew out there.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But you had just had a heart attack.
Yeah, like the week before.
Really? It was a week before?
Oh, yeah.
And
it wasn't more than 2 weeks. I'd have to look up the dates, but I think it was only
close
a
enough.
week or two before. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I'd still get out of breath carrying my suitcase at the airport. So,
and the reason I bring these things up is that, the friendships that you develop, they just continue on and on and on and on. I mean,
sure.
I think sometimes Dave doesn't like me calling him, and or a
Well,
lot
that's
of
not true.
them. Well,
You can call
but
me anytime, Dave.
I love you too. But the
Yeah.
point being is that, you know, it never ends. I mean, what you develop at Northern is just so, I don't even know how to describe it. Maybe David would be better at it.
Well, it's just, especially if you're on a team like that, you see those guys every day. And I mean, you know what they like to eat for breakfast. You know all about their personal hygiene habits, whether you want to know or not. And, they are family. And I find it kind of funny when I was going back and forth all the time when Patrick was up there. He was in marching band. So,
Right?
like, half of the kids from his years in marching band are still my buddies too. So that's kind of funny.
Well,
But yeah,
let's
it's
not, go ahead.
especially I think someplace like Northern that almost everybody there, at least everybody on the swim team, were not locals. They came from someplace pretty far away. So there wasn't really any driving home to see your family every weekend or any shit like that. Your team is your family. So it it makes for a closeness that you wouldn't necessarily have with, just your college roommate. And except for the swimmers, I didn't really like any of my college roommates. So they're not my buddies still. Shit like that.
And can you imagine if you came from another country, how greater the impact would be on your
Oh
life?
yeah, no kidding. Yeah, yeah, and they're recruiting all kinds of people from other countries these
And
days.
at
So
this point in time, I've been told from Heidi, they've got 11 kids coming in from for the girls and 11 kids coming in for the boys next year that they've secured.
oh,
And
cool.
they're coming in from every direction. You know,
That's great.
I, and I just can't even imagine the friendships that are going to be developed. I mean, it's going to be
Hmm.
a wonderful thing. And the only thing I regret is, besides the fact that when last time, one of the times I saw you, that you were playing the guitar, that I haven't heard you play the tuba, and then I haven't heard you sing in that, what is it, quartet?
No, that was a long time ago. I sing in a couple different choral groups up here, but they're pretty big. They're like 70 or 80 members, and all that shit is out the door this year. I haven't I haven't even taken my shit out of the case since March.
Yeah,
Tuba, guitar, none of that. The
yeah.
one the one group that I play guitar and tuba with, they're talking about starting rehearsals. Left with much.
No, no. Uh, do you remember our theme song? And now
A
I'm going to
cheer?
edit this one out.
The cheer?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Well,
Don't
let me
you?
hear it because I know it.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Rat shit, bat shit, musty old twat. 18 assholes tied in a knot. Lick, suck, fuck, gobble, nibble, chew. We're from Northern. Hey, fuck you.